So this is symmetrical. And I think there is an emphasis not only with color, but also with the shape. The next example, this part, I think I'm going to create something asymmetrical balance. That means if I cut it in half, left and the right side will not be mirror image. First thing I can think of is putting the emphasis on one of the other side. So I will be creating something like that will be my focal point. And my motif will be more circle. Okay? And this will be the darkest or the most saturated color. You don't have to worry about color at this point. I'm just shading in to see that will be a different color scheme. And then because the motif is circle, and I will repeat the circles, but smaller size. So the emphasis still remain focal point, emphasis. And then I am going to go emphasize more by repeating that outer shape, but in different shape, not circle. A little band, really emphasizing surrounding this design. And I would like to show variety of thickness, and yet still this is emphasized. Okay. And then I will repeat those things around other places too to create unity. Because you have to repeat things to create unity. Like that. And then I will just keep going. Maybe I can just go like this. And then I would keep repeating the same color, although this one also is, same color. Because these are smaller, your emphasis will still remain the emphasis. Okay, don't worry about the color scheme yet. And I would think about ways to emphasize this even more. And then each section there will be tangles. So each one here and here and here, each sections, these are called sections, and you will create tangles inside. So this is asymmetrical balance. Even though this one is shifted on this side, we have a lot of things going on here to balance out. So this is balanced piece. It's just asymmetrically balanced. And unity was created by repetition of circular shapes. And the movement, these are all creating a lot of movements. And this one is rotating around the circle, emphasizing the circle emphasis focal point here. Okay, contrast will be created with the color and of course the shapes too, because this is a lot bigger. Yeah, and then let's move on to the next one. Because sometimes symmetrical balance make things look a little bit more rigid. Okay, an asymmetrical balance can make things more dynamic and moving, sort of really diagonal emphasis, a lot more to look at. So let's try another asymmetrical balance. Okay, this time I'm going to make the emphasis. Maybe I can change the direction orientation of my page like this, vertically, This is called portrait format, whereas these are landscape format. So I'm going to change it into a portrait format. And then I think I'm going to try asymmetrical by going over diagonally. So I'm going to go, I started already asymmetrical by just doing the line. And then here, I think I'm going to make this whole warm colors to create contrast. And then these two are going to be cool colors. Okay. And I think I'm going to repeat a lot of this echoing shape. And then I think I'm going to go, my emphasis will be somewhere over here. So there's movement going this diagonally. And this would be my emphasis. And these will be my negative space and everything else will be filled. And then I will create more sections inside the circles too. And those sections will be filled with tangles. So this is the only negative space. I'll just write down negative space. Yep, so these are just white space. Everything else will be filled. And this is asymmetrical balance because there's a center line and the left and the right is not the same or mirror image. And my emphasis will be this with warm colors, and these are going to be my cool colors. The next one. Okay, I think I am going to go symmetrical, just to be fair, and portrait format. And I think this time I would like to have my emphasis on the bottom. Okay, and then I will just straightforward draw the middle line just so I know where the center line is. And then I will create the movement going to the emphasis, because the emphasis will be this part. And I will draw this line. Like this. Okay. Making things symmetrical will be a little bit more difficult because you have to make it very even. Otherwise, it's kind of off-center, then that's not balanced. Even though you're trying to get the asymmetrical balance and it's kind of like little bit shift, that's uncomfortable. And so that is not balanced. So you have to make it symmetrical, super when you're doing it on actual paper, you got to be very accurate. This is thumbnail sketch, so this just so you know the idea. And then I think I'm going to make these lines a lot thicker and darker and bold just to create that movement towards the emphasis a lot stronger. That means right now this kind of looks like an emphasis. So what am I going to do with this part to make sure that this will be the emphasis? So things has to be a lot more bold. Maybe this could be the darkest line with saturated colors. Okay, and then this is too much negative space. Okay, we're going to change these into sections. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. And then I'm going to do something more here, a lot more complex. But then these two are still too much negative space. What can I do? I think I am going to go get rid of the negative space. Echoing the shape is always good to create harmony or unity. And emphasizing all these, whatever emphasis that you're trying to do. So I think I'm going to change the sections like this. And so this will be my negative space. This will be my negative space. And I'll do the same thing over here. Negative space means I'm going to leave that white. And so that will be my negative space. Everything else will be colored and designed. So I'm not, well, these two, they have to be all different tangles, but right now it's kind of confusing. So I'm just going to indicate that with stripes to where I should put the tangles and where is negative space by just shading in. Of course, these are gonna be filled with complex things later, but right now it's just kind of confusing with my negative space. I'm just gonna shade it in just to indicate those are gonna be filled with more complex designs later. And then here, I am not sure, but I still want this to be sections divided a little bit narrower. So it has a lot more complex designs. And I also can come up with a color difference. Like I said, warm colors attract people's eyes better. So I think I'm gonna get this color, warm colors, and maybe these two warm colors, but then this is gonna be cool color, cool color, cool color, cool color. And this is white space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you don't have to count because they're already drawn. Actually, you can just connect these two little dots right there. So now I have 4 identical boxes, and these are called thumbnail sketches because these are a smaller version of your large project.